Okay, so this was a special episode. It was actually the 100th episode of all time on American Horror Story, which was season 9, episode 6, American Horror Story 1984. Let's go. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking into the video. This is, like I said, this is season 9, episode 6 of American Horror Story 1984. But this is overall, this is the 100th episode. So there was a lot going on, and I figured there would be. I figured there would be a lot going on, because that's just how Ryan Murphy does. But anyway, we start off, we're going to jump forward a year. We're going to go into 1985. It's been a year since that night at Redwood camp. And Jingles and Ramirez have been basically on the loose for a year, and they've been Thelma and Louising around. Though Jingles hasn't been killing anybody, but Ramirez has just been getting his life. Jacking folks up, honey. So, is what it is. Jingles basically tells Ramirez there's this whole scene. They're at a hotel, and this woman comes over. She's actually from England, and she comes down, and she's asking him to turn the music down. Of course, it's Billy Idol. Asking him to turn it down. He's like, there's only one way to play it. All the way up, and she's like... He's standing there, and she's kind of looking at him, and he asks her, do you want to come in? And she's like, no, and he yanks her and is going to drag her in, and Jingles stopped him. So Jingles saved her life. She ended up running on back down the hall, going about her business. But he told him, he said, you know what? He said, I need to get some sleep. I'm really not enjoying what this is. Like, he's like, you just kill just to be killing. You know what I mean? You don't keep a souvenir. You don't, no, you keep no memory. You don't do anything like a serial killer does it. You just kill to be killing. And, that's a whole different, because he's a different type of animal. He is literally a Satan worshiper, and he basically is just evil. He is evil. He does evil shit, and that's just how he gets down. So, I said, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem with them to like this and not being equally yoked. So we see them. They're down in this Hispanic community, and Ramirez goes into a store. And of course, his picture is actually on the newspaper. And Jingles basically drops a dime on him, to these Hispanic women. And baby, I said, oh, okay, so I said, it's 1985. I said, they're going to call the police. And by the time he comes out of the store, the police is going to arrest him. No, baby. I forgot we were talking about Hispanics. They don't play that crap. He came out of that store, baby, and they were waiting on his ass. And when I tell you, they tore his ass down. Eventually, the police came and got him, but they gave his ass one old good beating. Before that, they chased him all through the neighborhood, caught him, and beat him down with wrenches and hammers, and they beat him down. Okay? When I say they came together for a community meeting, so that was that. And Jingles pulled the car up and looked at him and gave him, was drinking a soda, and drove on off. I said, well, he's already dead. So if he ever gets loose, he gonna get you. He gonna do something to you. I said, but whatever. So he ends up getting locked up. So let's jump forward 4 years now. We're gonna go into 1989. Which was my year. I graduated from high school. Anyway, so it's 89. And it's like, okay, cool. So we're back at Camp Redwood. And you see in Montana, is there and Xavier is there. Montana and Xavier are having a blast killing folks. Anybody who happens to stumble onto those grounds, they are just killing the shit out of them, okay? She killed this photographer, just stabbed him up. She's out there laying out on the deck. He come down there, he made a mistake, honey, and she gave him the blues and gutted him up, honey, tore him up. And there were other counselors there from 1972 that are just over it, and they're all just stuck there. Their souls are stuck there, and nobody is actually seeing it for what they're doing other than Montana and Xavier. And Montana was already angry. She was already angry, and she's totally pissed with that Brooke killed her. So she's like pissed off. Xavier's like, I was always good, and being good didn't get me anywhere, and being bad feels good to me. So that's it. And Ray had come through, and Ray's like, you cannot take and kill everybody who comes down who stumbles on these grounds. And Brooke's like, not Brooke, I'm sorry, Montana's like, yeah, I can. And they're like, just clean it up like you been. And she's like, no, I'm not doing that. And he's like, I'm sick of this. I'm not tired of cleaning up behind you all, so people don't end up finding the bodies or whatever. It's like, whatever. So that's that. Now let's go talk about Margaret. Margaret is now like filthy rich. She's on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and they're interviewing her. She done gave up on God, so she ain't even talking all this God stuff no more. She's obsessed with like macabre homes and different places, land and homes and things where serial killers lived, or where they migrated to, or where they committed like heinous crimes. She goes and buys these properties, and she's like selling tours and just really capitalizing off of other people's pain is what she's doing, and she's just obsessed with it. Here, then we see old Mr. Big Dick Trevor. Like, where the heck he come from? Because his body should be out at the camp. Well, wouldn't you know, Mr. Big Dick didn't die. When she stabbed him up, she missed his heart with the knife. He didn't die. They show a flashback where she actually went to the hospital, and thinking that he had forgot everything. He didn't, and he was blackmailing her. He was going to blackmail her, and it went into a whole twisted thing where he told her, basically, she said, you're going to marry me, and that's it. Because he said, I need a sugar mama, this, that, thing, the other. And they just have this whole twisted little thing going on. They basically he hates her, but I don't think she knows really. I don't think she really senses that he really hates her. He really hates her. And he told her, if you're going to kill me again, she said, I'll kill you this time. Said, if you're going to kill me again, make sure you get it in the right spot. And she told him something, told him, you ain't no good. The only thing you got going for you is that big dick. And she said, as much coke as you do running around here, it ain't even no good. Baby, them two got to going at it, honey, and he yanked her up and slammed her over there and stuck it on in her and asked her, well, what's up with it now? And honey, she was giving, give it to me, honey. I said, oh, these two. And then, so they're in a whole twisted situation. Her assistant runs in, this little short little queen come flying in there. It's like, Miss Margaret. Yeah. So I'm laughing at this whole thing. And they just had this whole little thing going on. And it's just a whole mess. They got a whole mess going on. We're going to come back to them, okay? But just remember that Big Dick and Margaret are married. And then they got this little gay assistant child now. And he got this little chopped up, this little wig. This little wig is like a cross between Pat Benatar and Sonny Bono. I said, girl, where'd you get that helmet at, honey? It is so ugly. I said, it make him look even shorter. I said, that is so ugly. But anyway, he's over there, and we're going to come back to them. So we see Brooke is now and saying Quinn on death row, and she's going for execution, and guess who she runs into? Ramirez. He in the little window of one little room said, I should have killed you that night. And she's like, fuck off. You know, like she's like over it. Like her whole tune now is just like, whatever. Like I done seen the worst of the worst. There's nothing you could do to really get me all worked up. Fuck off. You know, so that's that whole thing. Like I said, Ray is totally at odds with Montana and Xavier. And there's this one camper that comes down after the guy who Montana had killed on the pier. His girlfriend was looking for him, and she comes down, and she had this newspaper. Ray had her newspaper and was reading it and seeing all of the stuff about Brooke getting ready to be executed. So what he ended up doing, he know he can't leave, so he's trying to alert the girl. He's like, look, take this information with you as you go. I don't know where your boyfriend is. He left. I see them going up toward the road, which that wasn't true. He was down there dead on the pier, and he was leading her away. And he was like telling her, he's like, I know this person. She didn't actually commit those murders. That's a lie. You need to let somebody know. And then he's like, wait a minute. He's looking to see Montana. He said, where the hell is Xavier? And when he says it, he gonna say, ha! He jumped out from the bushes, honey, and gave the girl and slit her throat. I said, oh, wow. All the blood splattered all over Ray, and Ray was like pissed. He was like, oh, I am just too done with you two. I just can't. I can't with you two. So that's like his mission now, is to get the word out. He's like, this is my friend, because the girl was like, wait a minute, so you're friends with a serial killer? And he's like, no, it's not like that, child. Got her throat slit, honey. See, again, asking too many questions instead of getting the hell on out of there like he was trying to tell her to do. She wanted to babble on and have a whole chit-chat session and found her throat slit from the rooter to shooter. So that was that. So then there's this whole little thing where we see Ramirez trying to do some mind tricks. He's actually, he's going in and he ends up, propelling himself into the cell with Brooke to talk to her. He's literally explaining all of the ways that, like the lethal injection and all these different things, and tell her which to choose, because this is what's going to happen with this and this is going to happen with that. And if you use the electrocution, then it's just going to shoot through you like this, and it's going to be this, that, and the other. Just trying to scare her, and then telling her, there's one more chance for you. For some reason, he's like, I just want to kill you, but my boss sees potential in you, and he wants to offer you some savior. But all you got to do is just agree to come on over. And she told him, hey, fuck off. So that's that. He's over there pissed off with his black eyes, honey. I said, mm-hmm. So I'm laughing. I said, look at this new Brooke, honey. She's like over it. So then we go back to Margaret and that damn assistant with that damn Sonny Bono Benatar wig, honey. And he's talking to her, and he's like, a lot of your deals keep falling through. People are starting to feel like what you do is morbid, and it just is not good. So then they're looking through the paper, and they actually see that there was a murder at Redwood. And they're like, don't we still own that? Here comes Mr. Big Dick is in there. And they come up with this whole thing. She's like, this is the best thing that has happened ever. So now what Margaret decides, she's going to go back to Camp Redwood, and she's going to have this rock music fest. And the drawing point, is still going to be more morbid and macabre. And she's bringing Billy Idol in as like the headliner. And she's like, yeah, people will come because they want to be on the grounds. Because people be obsessed with stupid stuff. So that was that. Now let's talk about Jingles. Jingles has literally turned his name into Donald. He has a whole new life. He got a woman that he done found named Lorraine. Then they had a little boy, little baby. And he is working at a video rental store. And they kind of poke fun at he came up with a line, and the guy said, we should actually take that and put that line said, you ought to copyright that. We ought to put that line on everything. Be kind, rewind. So they're saying Mr. Jingles is the one that actually came up with that line. I said, oh, you all are so crazy. But anyway, I just laughed about that. And so he's like having a regular life. Everything's fine. So all of this is going on. Let's go to the day of the execution for good old Brooke. Brooke decides to go with lethal injection, okay? So here Ramirez is in there performing a whole ritual in his cell with his blood. As she's walking by with the priest and all of that, the priest is like, this is, Ramirez says, this is your last chance. This is your last chance to take and accept my offer. You accept my father's offer. It's the last chance. She gonna give him the finger behind her, shed her hands behind her. She gonna give him the finger again. Fuck off. And then the priest is walking with her, and the priest says something about, this is your time right now. It's the last time you're gonna have to really turn your soul over to the Lord, and this, that, thing, and the other. She looked at the priest and tell the priest, yeah, fuck that guy. I said, oh, and then she goes up to the glass. It's a two-way glass. And she says, Margaret, I know you're out there. And I know you can see me. And, the whole little thing with you, you're going to die and you're going to burn in hell because I didn't commit any crimes and you know it. You're going to burn in hell for wanting to sit around and watch me die, you bitch. And she got on back on the table, honey, and they shoot her up with the lethal injection, and that was that. And they take and laid a little cover over her head, and they said, that's it for her. She's done. That damn Margaret and Mr. Big Dick is sitting out there in the audience, like I said, on the other side of the glass. And Margaret will say, this was pretty boring and lackluster. I'd have paid good money if they would bring back the guillotine, and I'd have paid real good money to see him chop that bitch's head off. I said, what? That Margaret, she totally gave up on all that gone talk. She's like totally over it. And they get on up and they leave on out. So then we see that the devil was working his thing, because at that point, Ramirez was sitting, while all that was going on, Ramirez is sitting in the star doing his ritual and saying, give me a chance to get out. I could really, if you release me from here, I could really send a whole bunch of souls to you. And he did his little 7-point circle or whatever that is, and he put the flyer for the concert in the middle of it with his blood and all that shit all over it. And child, you seen the devil, you seen Satan working his way, honey, and he ended up possessing Satan. You seen the black mist possess this one cop. The cop comes and lets Ramirez out completely, releases him from the jail, and all of that. So then we go to the next thing that we see. We see old Jingles. Jingles it's raining real bad, and he gets home from work, and the house just seemed kind of eerie and weird. He is a serial killer. He knows what he gives. He goes running through the house. He's like hollering for Lorraine. He get up there, baby. Lorraine is in the bed, slashed down. She was tore down, and we knew who did it. There was blood all over the walls. And then he's like, where the hell is the baby? Baby in the cupboard. The baby was in the cupboard on the floor, and it says something about Satan's going to have his revenge. And it was a flyer when he turned it over to Redwood, because him and Lorraine actually saw that they watched television, and Lorraine knew what was going on with him. She knew his past. He had told her his past and everything. They seen it on TV a couple days before, and he said, seeing that, because she clicked it off. He said, you know what? He said, I'm over it. Seeing that place now doesn't make me feel anything. I'm fine. She was like, oh my gosh, okay, good. Child, he saw the little flyer. So now I said, what's going on? Baby, he took little Bobby, which is the baby. The baby's name is Bobby, and I think we need to remember that. Don't ask me why, but I think we need to remember Bobby. Okay? We need to remember Bobby, because Bobby is truly created from Jingles. He is Jingles' child. So, and remember, Jingles died and was resurrected by the devil. So that baby could very well be the Antichrist. This shit may actually tie into last season. So it could really tie into Apocalypse some kind of way. But the baby's name is Bobby. Okay? He dropped Bobby off to Lorraine's sister and told Lorraine he had on his raincoat and all that, had his keys, and told her, protect the baby, raise the baby the right way. He's not me. And there's just a dark force within me that I can't get away from. It is what it is, but it ends with me, and that's it. And I said, I don't think so. And you got that baby. That baby is half Satan's spawn, I believe. But anyway, so he leaves the baby with the sister, and he goes on off. Because, you know, he got business to attend to, baby. He going on to the music fest. He's going to fuck up Margaret and Ramirez, because Ramirez done fucked up Lorraine. So, you know, Ramirez, he going to kill him again. And you need to know he going to kill him again. So I said, oh, they going to be getting on. So I said, all right. So he's on his way for them. Then we see them taking the body of Brooke down, and they had given her a lethal injection. Next thing you know, baby, we see her go, and she comes back to, baby, something that went down with the lethal injection, and the guy who was pushing her down pulls the mask off and take the mask off, baby, and guess who it is, honey? Miss Candy. And she said, hey, welcome back to the land of the living. I said, oh, I was so here for it. I said, oh, shit. So now we got Brooke and Miss Candy. And they got a flyer too. I believe they on their way heading on back to Redwood too. Baby, let me tell you something. With all them loose spirits around there at Camp Redwood, and then you got Ramirez and Jingles on the way back there. Margaret and her killing ass is already there. And then you even got old Big Dick Trevor is going to be there. He already pissed off with Margaret still. He hates Margaret. And guess what? One person that we ain't seeing that I think is going to show back up, I think they're going to give the Friday the 13th ending with the jumping up out of the lake, is going to be that damn Chet. Because that we always see, we've seen that from the beginning, somebody jumping up out of the lake. We've seen that in the previews all this time. And it ain't nothing happened that night. I believe that's getting ready to be one of the scenes coming up, is that Chet, because we ain't seen Chet. Where is Chet at, honey? And he was last in the water, tied down. But he's a spirit now, so of course now he should be able to get out of the water. I said, listen, I'm all here for it. I'm here for whatever it is they doing. I hate these damn woods, but at least I got to spend some time out of the woods. But God damn it, they're on their way back to the woods. So I'll be there. I'll see you all at Camp Redwood next week. I'm out of here.